Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Harry Canning, and I'm the manager of the Bon Secours Hospital here in Cork. So I'd just like to welcome everybody here today and to thank you for being here. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, AbbVie and Varian. So thank you for your sponsorship. If I could remind people just to turn off phones at this stage, and to say that this conference will be filmed and it will be made available after the event. Okay, so as everybody will be aware, this symposium is a collaboration between Bon Secours and UPMC and arises out of a joint venture partnership agreed between our two organisations to develop and deliver radiation oncology services at Bon Secours Hospital Cork. So we have a wonderful lineup of speakers today, and I know you came to listen to them and not me. So I intend to just give a very brief introduction to Bon Secours Hospital Cork for those who may not be familiar with us, and an update on our development and how it's going. And I'll then hand over to Chuck Bagosta for a few words on behalf of UPMC. So, Bon Secours Hospital Cork is part of the Bon Secours Health System, which has almost 200 years of history in Cork, or in Ireland, and the Cork Hospital was founded in 1915, and since that time we've been adding hospitals in Tralee, Glasnevin, Galway and Dublin, and our latest acquisition being the Bon Secours Hospital in Limerick, which we acquired in 2017. So you can see here the location of the hospitals and the scale of them. So in terms of Bon Secours Hospital Cork, we're a hospital of 295 beds. It's actually the biggest private hospital in Ireland, 211 inpatient beds, 85 day cases. So the hospital is served by 80 consultants, 57 of them being in full-time private practice, and 23 consultants who work part-time with us. And we have over 1,000 staff working in the hospital. So we have a full range of services here. I don't intend to go through them. And in terms of the activity of the hospital, in 2017 the hospital treated or admitted 35,000 patients. So of that, about 12,500 inpatient admissions and over 22,000 day case admissions, and lots of outpatient activity as well, about 65,000 outpatient attendances in the hospital. So in terms of our cancer services, we have a very strong medical oncology service. We're ESMO accredited, the European Society of Medical Oncology. We do a lot of clinical trials in the hospital. We currently have 41 trials, 15 open at the moment. We have a hematology service. We have a strong cancer surgery in the hospital, particularly breast, urology, colorectal, gynae and skin, and radiotherapy we will have in 2019. So in terms of radiology, we have a very extensive radiology department in Bon Secours with mammography, tomosynthesis, CT, MRI, and quite a busy interventional radiology service in the hospital. Our pathology, most of our pathology is done in-house. We're a NINAB accredited laboratory. We were the first hospital in Ireland to be accredited to that standard. We have a number of MDTs that run in the hospital in breast, urology in general, and we have quite a number of specialist and paramedical resources supporting the cancer service in the hospital, including palliative care, pharmacy, liaison nurses, research nurses, etc. So in terms of our new development, it's going to be built over 6 floors. The bottom floor, at floor -3 here, you can see at the bottom, is the radiotherapy centre, which, as I say, will be the joint venture partnership with UPMC. The next floor will be our oncology day ward. And the next floor then, we have 3 floors then of beds with 27 private rooms on each floor. And then on the top floor, which is adjacent to our existing operating theatres and endoscopy suites, we will be adding 4 additional theatres, a recovery ward and a new and reconfigured ICU unit. So just in terms of the actual hospital, this is Bon Secours Hospital here. As you can see, surrounded by UCC and this gentleman here, very valuable property. So this is where we're doing our development, which is marked out in blue. And we have started the project. This will give you some idea. The dark shading will be the new development once it's finished. So you can see actually the scale of it compared to the existing hospital. And it's giving us about 40% additional footprint in the hospital. So we started work in the summer of 2017. And you can see here, this was most of the first couple of months was spent in the laying of the very high density concrete for the radiotherapy bunkers. And since then we have started to make quite quite rapid progress. In fact, it's amazing to see how quickly they can actually put up these buildings. So you can see on that time frame, that was February, and you can see the scale of it going up there. That's it from the rear of the hospital. And this is just yesterday, and you can see it has gone up. So it really is progressing very rapidly. And this is a picture of what it will look like once it's completed. So as we say, radiation oncology is going to be a joint venture partnership between Bon Secours and UPMC. The name of the company is Cork Radiation Oncology Associates Limited. It's a 50-50 partnership. We expect to have our first patient in July 2019. So the Bon Secours have been providing care in Cork for over 100 years, and this development represents a very exciting start to the next century of providing healthcare to the people of Cork, and we're delighted to have UPMC as our partners in delivering world-class radiation oncology services. We're also very pleased to see so many of our UPMC colleagues with us here today, and we appreciate the effort they've made to travel from Pennsylvania. It's also worth noting today, as we stand in Blackrock, that William Penn, founder of Pennsylvania, spent a few years living in Cork and some time staying in Dundonion Castle, which is about 200 metres from where we're standing right now. And it's also thought by some historians that he departed from Blackrock on one of his journeys with settlers to America. So welcome back. So I want to welcome all of our speakers today from Bon Secours and UPMC, and also Dr. Jerome Coffey, Director of the NCCP and the National Screening Service, and Sharon Foley, CEO of the Irish Hospice Foundation, and Professor Frank Sullivan, Adjunct Professor in Medicine at NUIG and Radiation Oncologist at the Galway Clinic. So thank you all again for attending, and I hope you'll all enjoy the day. And I'm now very pleased to introduce Mr. Chuck Bogosta, Executive Vice President of UPMC and President of UPMC International Services Division and UPMC Hillman Cancer Centre. Thank you, Chuck.